Hi, everyone. I'm Aaron Bochniak. I have the pleasure of serving as the Interim Superintendent of the Schenectady City School District. As we dive into the work of building a budget for the 21-22 school year, we're looking for input from you. Where we are now, entering this budget season, is far from where we were in August, September, or even a month ago. I know I don't have to remind anyone of the many challenges we all face this year. In our district, we knew that it was going to be a difficult year, a different year, one certainly unlike any other, but it's an understatement to say that it became more difficult, more challenging than we could have ever imagined. Back in August, when we learned that our state school aid could, and then later actually was, withheld by 20%, we were faced with many unimaginable and difficult decisions to potentially reduce our spending by a whopping $28.5 million. This included laying off more than 400 staff members. We were forced to postpone grant programs like the start of pre-K. We shifted all of our students in grades 7 through 12 to entirely remote learning, and we temporarily took many of our schools offline and combined them with others. We had to look at everything and anything that we could to capture savings and make up for the potential huge deficit. So we were extremely pleased to learn about 6 weeks ago that the state would not withhold any more aid and that prior withholdings would be paid to the district. That changed everything. And so with that, we began the process of restoring programs for students and calling back our staff members who were laid off to support them. This work continues to be underway, and this is where we are right now. As we look forward to the 21-22 school year, the budget picture is brighter. Since the state is receiving federal assistance in the form of stimulus funding to offset the deficit created by the pandemic, the governor's proposed budget does not call for a reduction in our aid. Since the governor's proposal is created using federal stimulus funds, which, keep in mind, that's a one-time shot of funding, school districts need to be very careful when crafting their budgets. We don't know what's going to happen next year, so we need to consider a multi-year plan when looking at it and planning for the use of our revenue. Right now, we don't know exactly how much additional school aid we will receive. We won't know until the state budget is passed, but we are likely to see an increase between $1 million and $3 million. We'll need to earmark some of that for forecasted increases to expenditures, but we'll expect that there will be some funding left to potentially add to our existing programs and services. So for the purposes of developing the 21-22 budget, please presume that school will return to normal in September of 2021. This means that all schools are open and students will attend in person all day, every day. We also plan to provide all programs and services as they were prior to the pandemic. The question then is, what do we need to add for our students? Our school principals and department heads considered this and submitted proposals for their schools and departments, especially as we contend with our students returning to school and the gaps created by the pandemic. So now we're asking for your input. As we begin consideration and prioritization of these programs, we'd like to know what is important to you and are asking you to complete a short survey. The survey includes those things that have been submitted from schools and departments. We will use your input as we craft a proposed budget for the Board of Education and ultimately our community to consider. The results of the survey will be made public, but your responses will remain anonymous. If you have questions about the budget or proposed ideas, there are a few online Q&A sessions coming up that I invite you to join. There are links on our school district homepage to register. The first session is for district staff, and it'll be held on March 17th at 3:45 p.m. The second session is also on March 17th at 5:30 p.m. and geared towards students, parents, and community members. We'll hold a second session for students, parents, and community members on March 18th at 5:30 p.m. The survey that I'm asking you to take a few moments to complete will close at 11:59 p.m. on Sunday, March 21st. You can submit any questions about the budget in Let's Talk at any time. You can get to Let's Talk from our homepage. Select the 2021-22 budget from the Let's Talk tab on our website or on the budget information page. Thank you very much for listening to this message and for taking time to participate in the survey. I hope you all have a great day.